Hello, everyone. I'm Narendra. I'm lead immigration counsel with YCA Canada Immigration Services in Canada. Today, we're going to talk about the new pathway or new temporary program for permanent residence pathway that Canada has recently announced. In 2021, IRCC has a goal of having 401,000 people landed as permanent resident of Canada. So this is overall goal. It includes everybody, including family members. Now, because of the COVID, due to border shutdown and a lot of the federal skilled worker category people were not able to or not allowed to travel to Canada, there was a deficit of the PR landed immigrants for 2021. And to address that and to help in jumpstarting Canadian economy, the government of Canada has decided to announce this temporary pathway for many people who are waiting to become Canadian PR. So this will help three categories mainly, depending on how you see it. It could be, some people say three, some people say it's six. So basically, summarize in three categories: student or international graduate, and healthcare professionals, essential services worker, and then their equivalent French categories. So one with English, one with the French. So three main, and then basically just and then with the French it becomes six. This video is just to give you a brief idea on information on what are you looking at in terms of eligibility, in terms of the requirement, and then there are a few things that are still not clear. So what to watch for when the time actually comes and the program is rolled out. So let's jump right in. So first of all, let's talk about the international graduates. So the eligibility criteria, if you review, it clearly mentioned that you must be graduating or graduated between January 2017 to when you submit your application. So people who graduated before January 2017 are not eligible under this category. Now, next is what kind of credentials do I need? So credentials are pretty much similar to the postgraduate work permit requirement. However, there are a couple of changes. So if you are graduating with a certificate or diploma, it must be minimum 16-month program, or you can combine two programs as long as the combined duration is 16 months or more. And if you're graduating with a degree program, it could be associate degree, master degree, bachelor degree, or applied bachelor degree, or a doctorate, PhDs. The program must be at least 8 months. And then if you are applying under trades, then there's no minimum length requirement for that trade. So these are a few things that we need to keep in mind. So majority of people who are in Canada on study permit who recently completed diploma or certificate, they need to have minimum of 16 months study or 2 academic year study in Canada. The 16 months or 2 year, it is not the definition of IRCC per se for how long your credential or degree or education is. It is defined by your college or university. Now, the study that you do in Canada must be authorized, like means you have to have a legal status allowing you to study, for example, study permit. Now, you have to have a minimum of CLB 5 on the language score. So it could be either French or English. You could take IELTS or CELPIP. IELTS should be GT. Please make sure you do GT only. Academics won't be accepted. Now, when you apply, you must be working in Canada on a valid status. So work permit or basically after you graduate, when you apply for study permit, when you apply for the postgraduate work permit after you graduate and your study permit is still valid, you are legally allowed to work at that time. So we believe right now that if you are working on that status, if you don't have your postgraduate work permit approved, you would still qualify under that. However, IRCC had not made it clear yet, so we will look for more instructions in coming time. Your work that you are doing at the time when you apply, it can't be a self-employed work. You can't be your own boss. Exceptions are physicians, because physicians are basically a contractor by the provincial government, so those are as exceptions. So other than that, you must be employed by somebody and can't be self-employed. Now, when you apply, you must be in Canada. So if you are outside of Canada, you are not eligible for that. You must be in Canada on a valid temporary status. So it could be visit, work, study. It must be valid. And then if your status recently expired, you must be eligible to restore. So under this category, we have 40,000 applicants as a maximum cap. Now, if you go with French route with the CLB5 in French language, there is no maximum cap applicable. Now let's jump into the healthcare worker. So basically the temporary foreign worker, it has stream A, stream B. The stream A is a healthcare professional. So when we dive into for the healthcare professionals, what their eligibility looks like. So they must have a minimum of 1 year experience or equivalent of part-time experience of 1,560 hours, which should be, or which must be 3 years before when you apply. And your current job could be any, as long as you have that 1 year experience or equal amount in part-time experience in the job that is listed under Annex A of the public policy. You must have a minimum of CLB4 in English or French. Again, you must be in Canada on a temporary valid status or eligible to restore if your status is expired. Sorry. Now, under Stream A, there is a cap of 20,000 applications. Again, there is no cap on French category. Now, what are the eligible experiences under A? So under Annex A. So under Annex A, the main eligible experience are basically the healthcare professionals, for example, physicians, nurses, registered nurses, nurse practitioners, any other medical practitioners like chiropractors, etc. So if your profession is a regulated healthcare profession, you likely qualify under this category under Annex A. Now let's jump into the next category that we have for the wonderful essential service workers. In the other essential service occupations, the eligibility criteria is pretty much same that we talk about the healthcare workers. So again, same. You must have 1 year of experience or equal amount of part-time experience within 3 years before you apply, and then your current job could be any, as long as you have that previous experience within that 1 year experience within last 3 years. Minimum CLB4 in English or French. In Canada, legal or valid status, eligible to restore if your status has expired. Under Stream B, the maximum cap is 30,000 applications. There is no cap if you are applying with CLB4 in French language. In this, the occupation are listed under Annex B of that public policy. The public policy occupation examples are like essential service provider like cashiers, transport truck drivers, harvesting laborers, home child care workers. So these are some of the example, but you can find though that Annex A and Annex B available on our website. We will add a link in our description. Right now, we are aiming to have that page ready for you by Monday. So if you go on our website and you can't find it, it means it's coming. Check out again. But for sure, it will be there on our website. Next, so we talk about the 3 or 6, whatever you say, the main streams of this new temporary or policy work permit, to jumpstart Canadian economy, and that the program is applicable starting from May 6th of 2021, and then it's ending on November 5th, 2021. However, if the cap reaches before, they may not accept applications after that cap. But again, there is no cap on French. So if you are, if you have beginner level French skills, so I think it gives you few weeks to brush those skills up and try French language exam. And if you could score CLB4 in each, you're good. You can apply under that temporary worker pathway. And if you could score 5, you could apply for international graduate or international graduate stream if you qualify that criteria. Now, just to make sure we're clear on that, this program is only available for applicants who intend to reside outside of Quebec. If you are planning to or intending to reside in Quebec, this is not for you. There's no new program at the present under this public policy that would be for people who are interested in applying and intend to live in Quebec. Okay. Now let's move into some of the discussion key points that we want to make sure we dive into that as well. Must be authorized work or study where applicable. So whenever we talk about work experience, whenever we talk about the education or the study program, it must be done when you had valid study or worker status. So if your status expired and you were not on implied or maintained status at that time, or if you're working unlawfully, you do not qualify. And if your status is not restorable, either under the temporary policy or more than 90 days have expired long ago, your status is not restorable. So at that time, you are not eligible to apply under this category. Excuse me. You must be employed in Canada with a valid permit or authorization to work pursuant to the Act and regulation. So now here, it's common, after we graduate from our study program, then the student would likely apply for a postgraduate work permit. And under the policy for the work permit, the students are allowed to work full-time after they have graduated and have applied for the postgraduate work permit. So that work is authorized work. Now, this temporary public policy has not explicitly said that this experience would be considered as part of as qualifying for that temporary policy PR application. So this is a little bit of gray area. Being based on experience, being honest, we believe that it should be considered. However, IRCC has not made a clear announcement on that part yet. Now, all the applications would be online applications, so it won't accept any paper applications. Now, one more thing is that they talk about 1 year of qualifying experience, but the temporary public policy does not specify if that work experience must be earned after you have completed your studies in Canada, or can you combine your experience that you have earned throughout your studies, because that's also a qualifying work experience or authorized work experience. They haven't really made it clear on that part. Now, we all know how the IELTS and CELP booking chaos is happening. A lot of people are having hard time, and IELTS website and CELP website have, they were not prepared to go along with the sudden surge. So hopefully this chaos will settle down over the next few weeks. But it's a big challenge of this temporary public policy. We don't know how many of you would be able to take your IELTS or CELP exam or French exams to qualify under this this temporary public policy. Now, we don't know how the IRCC website would handle the rush. This is also a little bit of a gray area in the sense of, it's not the first time. There have been many incidents in past where, these kinds of programs are announced and they end up crashing the IRCC website. A couple of years ago, the PG, parent-grandparent program was a good example for that, where people found that within a few minutes, all the seats were full. And the site was not allowing them to enter the information when they were in the middle of submitting their application. for the interest. Now, these could be some challenges that early birds who are just trying to get in on and do it as soon as possible, they may face these. Now, next is IRCC hasn't clearly announced what forms or documents they would be requesting to apply under this category. So it's a little bit of gray area what to prepare, what kind of information should we start working on and putting together so we can submit our application as soon as possible. If you think about the documents requested in the past during express entry, there could be requirement for you know a police clearance certificate from your home country, and we know that from few countries it may take a long time to get your police clearance, and especially considering the current situation with the COVID, we don't know what kind of processing times we would be looking for. And talking about the processing times, there is no clear hint on what kind of processing times we will be looking for applications submitted in this category. Now, we need to keep in mind that this category or these public policies are temporary, and we don't know how long they will stay, even though they have an open date and close date announced. But because of the temporary nature, it could be terminated without any announcement. Now, many of you may have some provincial nomination applications in process, and you would think about if you should have a double application going. However, if we think about the ethical point of view, I think if you have that application going as well as if you apply under this, you are basically still in a spot from somebody who did not have another opportunity. So again, your discretion, we would discourage you to hold multiple spots in the PR applications. The cap is not clear right now. We don't know if the cap applies to the applications itself or the cap applies to the successful decision. So that is a bit unclear. So we will find out this, I think, later. One thing that it's important to talk about is that most likely this category would ask you to submit the full fees upfront. So earlier you had a chance to break your right to permanent residence fees and pay it later, but this would be asking for all the full fee upfront to minimize the processing delays and processing time for everybody. So uh, today I think that's all for now, and if you have any question concern, please feel free to contact us. We will be setting up a quick assessment, screening assessment for you guys if you are interested in using our services, and to see if you qualify under this program. We will be setting up soon, maybe early next week. So we are leaving the link below, but when you click on that, it may not be available, but it's coming soon. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.